Jeez.
I just can't even believe it. These punk kids.
Did the big blind call too? Is that what I see?
Yeah, small blind, big blind defended. And we get let out at like half pot.
Yeah, you need to like when you have people that are in the hand that are on the right side of the screen. Like we can't see that.
Thank you
guys.
guys. I appreciate it.
Only when you have them over there. Like if somebody's in there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. So we get let out at, and I think there's merits to both raising and calling here. What do you guys do here?
My default is to call.
If he led smaller, would there be more merits for raising?
If he led like 1,000?
2K.
He led 2K?
2K into 8K.
I would not consider that a check, you know.
I would think it's a lot of like, 7, 8, 10, 9, shit like that that's that I'm looking to punish for their.
But also you gotta think like if he bets 2K and I still think I can get in stacks, like I think flatting's fine. You know what I mean? Like if I want to keep in bluffs, and he bets 2K and I look at stack to pot and I'm like, okay, well we can still get in stacks if he checks turn, then I'm okay with this. You know what I mean? Like I'm cool. Like if he wants to set his price pretty low, then like it's still building the pot and I'm keeping him in as a customer.
Right. And there is something to be said here about like blocking top pair, right?
Yeah.
So with our hand, we basically lower the combinations of Jack X that our opponents can have. And we make it less likely for them to have a hand like exactly the hand they have here. I think with like a hand that didn't block top pair, like queens, or obviously kings, aces, I think we'd be more happy to raise, get it in here.
Yeah.
Just because we would assume that almost all Jack X is just not going to be folding. They're just not going to be. Our opponents here just generally aren't going to be capable of folding top pair to one street. Nonetheless,
and there's
2 streets.
There's more combos of Jack X.
Right. Exactly. Yep. And it's just really hard for and there's never really leading like 9-8 here, right? Or Jack 10.
I wouldn't say never leading Jack 10, but
you wouldn't say never, or
I would say that some people would lead Jack 10 here. People will like be fearful that you check behind and a queen peels or something.
Yep.
They're like, my 2 pairs no good.
Ace King got there, baby.
Ace King got there. Check fold.
Yeah. You could lead out in multi-way pots with top 2 and not be.
You know what I'd like to lead here if I'm in this guy's shoes? I think the ideal hand would be something like pocket 7s.
Yeah.
Where we don't block top pairs and we don't block, top 2, and we don't block any of the King X or Queen X, like.
And you're not getting snap folded by too often.
Right.
Especially if you go smart sizing.
And your hand's strong enough to just lead stack off. Obviously. I was just thinking about because I've done some leading in the past and I've actually started doing more leading now. Potential does advocate somewhat of leading strategy. But mostly when you're in hands with recreationals. Because otherwise it's really hard to balance that.
Right.
So I like it. So I think this lead could be good. I don't think I see this lead anymore, and necessarily have to label this guy like a huge whale or a huge fish.
Yeah, I wouldn't lead King Jack here, even if maybe against 2 Rex, but I don't know. I probably wouldn't.
I think King Jack is not
the ideal candidate.
It's not the ideal candidate. It's not our most vulnerable value combo.
Yeah.
I was trying to think of what would be our most vulnerable combo, though. Like something like Jack 6 of hearts or something. Where
no, you didn't open that.
Yeah, well, I guess yeah. No, I'm saying like
the small blind lead
of hands that they could have.
Oh, sorry. My apologies.
Yeah, of hands that they could have that are the most vulnerable of their value hands. That you theoretically, if you wanted to have a leading strategy, that theoretically you would want to lead those combos that are the most vulnerable.
You're saying like in a different scenario where he had more blinds and stuff.
Yeah, like potentially being deeper.
I just don't understand the scenario where we give him Jack 6.
Yeah, like, yeah, I know. I'm just talking about in terms of like, in terms of theory, right? Like,
okay,
if he were to have Jack 6, a top pair that does not have great turn and river playability.
Okay.
Jack 6 would be like the highest, would be like the best.
I would say that Ace Jack would be a better candidate.
You think so, though?
Because there's not many turns that Ace Jack's thrilled with, other than the low cards. If it's anywhere between 7 and King, Ace Jack, other than another Jack, obviously, Ace Jack isn't like fist pump like I love that turn card.
But Ace Jack makes one less card above a Jack a good card, or makes.
Well, I think it's also more likely in theory than Jack 6 of hearts.
Right. I'm not arguing with you.
Yeah.
On that.
Well, like if we're going, if
we're going with how this hand was played, what a villain here in the small blind would actually be flatting, they probably don't have Jack 6 suited.
Yeah.
Yeah. I agree. I'm just thinking, I guess
that is the most vulnerable.
If this is like a limped pot, then it's obviously like more real for them to have like Jack 6 suited here. And if I had Jack 6 suited in the small blind here and it was limped pot, I would definitely be leading on this flop.
Oh, I would not.
You would not?
In a limped pot?
In a limped pot?
Yeah.
Do you not have a limp strategy, or do you not have a lead strategy in limped pots?
Yeah, they just don't come up, I guess, too often. But I multi-way early.
I don't.
Stretchy?
No, I don't.
You don't have a lead strategy in limped pots?
I would.
Go ahead,
sorry. I would love to develop one, but no, I don't have one. I couldn't just rattle off like, well, this is what I like to lead, And
I don't have it. I would say like I don't want to build a pot with that. Right, like I'm not trying to get in a multi-way pot bloated, out of position.
Yeah, I think in a situation where we're playing against like competent, like thinking regs, having a lead strategy is complicated, and I think you'd have to put a lot more thought and preparation into it, than when we're playing against recreational players.
Oh, yeah. I guess if I'm only getting flatted, then yeah, I'm fine leading top pair versus like a person that's gonna it's just gonna play their hand straightforward. But
right,
you're right. If it's a competent reg that's able to like raise me with the gutter, like I'm gonna be like, I'll pass up the spot of I'd rather just go into bluff catch mode.
Right. So yeah, I think that's kind of most of what I'm referring to when I'm saying like having a lead strategy.
Yeah. Okay.
Is when we're against opponents who are recreational, who just aren't really going to be bluffing us very often, but with whom we can lead here and get value, and also deny equity and give protection to our holdings that are like the most vulnerable of our value range.
Right.
Hands like weak jacks. Maybe you could like even say like maybe a hand like 10-9 or 10-8, that we could even potentially turn into a bluff on later streets, and also deny equity, especially versus people's limp ranges who might be like really wide with their limps, right?
Yeah.
Like I think I like
be limping like 6-5 suited, 6-7 suited.
Right. They're just like limping a lot of like their ace X suited and different stuff like that. But that's all theoretical. That's not obviously this exact situation, so we can kind of, I think, move on from that.
Yeah.
Here in this exact situation where we open early position, small blind, big blind, complete, and we see a lead. What are we doing here, guys?
I'm almost always just calling.
Yeah, I like it. We have backdoor straight, backdoor flush. Like we have a very good combo that's gonna play well on turns and rivers.
Like even if a bad card comes.
Wait, what happened here?
I don't know.
Lappy folded.
No.
I don't understand. It says all in.
Yeah, that's weird.
Did we raise? Did we raise? Get it in?
Did you time out? What happened?
I don't know, man.
Weird.
It looks like you raised them on the flop.
You must have jammed.
I guess we raised, got it in. I don't think I like it. Yeah, I think that's what we did though.
No, it just doesn't show it correctly or whatever.
Yeah, it doesn't. It's okay.